Is this ruining your shoulder? It increases pressure on that shoulder joint, especially when combined with external rotation. If you found pressing exercises like the overhead press that involve flexion and rotation flare up your shoulder, then we have the #1 exercise to get you back to overhead pressing. Many shoulder issues do not like flexion or rotation. Therefore, combining these two motions can sometimes be a bad recipe for certain individuals. So, what should you do? The key here is that these exercises will provide an optimal motion stimulus without aggravating the shoulder by focusing on neutral shoulder positioning and controlling the motion throughout the whole range of motion. This will help you get a strength workout and improve shoulder mobility without the flare-ups. Now, let me be clear, the overhead press is not a bad exercise that everyone needs to avoid. If you don't have any issues with it, then don't worry about it. And even if you're sensitive to it right now and need some of our exercises to temporarily modify it, that is completely okay. Once we have taken you through a proper rehab program, you should be able to do any overhead exercise that you like without pain, fear, or worry. However, before we dive into the exercise, if you're ready to fix your shoulder pain, get my free shoulder fix guide by joining my Facebook group, NTS Shoulder Pain Relief Method. Now, let's dive into the exercise.
Well, if you're sensitive to this, get into a standing position, use a band wrapped around support, turn away, keep the elbow in line with the shoulder, and perform internal rotation so your arm finishes parallel with the ground, and let the band pull you as far back into external rotation as you can, and hold for 3 to 5 seconds. If this is painful still, drop to the floor, lay on your injured arm side with your elbow in line with the shoulder, perform the same movement as before, but drive your shoulder and upper arm down into the ground as you perform.
So always make sure to follow the protocol where you test first, you do the exercise in the middle, retest to make sure that you are seeing improvement and that you're benefiting from that, which means it's a good exercise to include in your rehab program. This means getting your elbow to about 90 degrees so it's right in line with the shoulder. This is an active range of motion test because you're using the muscles and the tendons to actually control and move you through that motion itself. And if you stop to really think about it and rewind a little bit, this is the motion that's typically required for you to be able to do in order for you to perform an overhead press properly, right? But not just an overhead press, also to perform pull-ups and push-ups. And I have to tell you, about 95% of our clients have issues with all three of those exercises. One being pull-ups, two being push-ups, and three being that overhead press. And you have to consider that you need to have full range of motion and external rotation before you start to load. And if you load too soon, you'll increase pain, you'll increase symptoms, and believe me, that is not something you want to do, and that is not some type of cycle that you want to get caught into. And we see this all the time with weightlifters every week and every day. So it's really imperative that you work on range of motion and stretching first, then strength, stability, and coordination next. Range of motion is a precursor to strength. You can't have one without the other. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and make sure you don't miss any of our other videos we're coming out with every week. And lastly, text me the word shoulder to 1-475-241-7993, and I will send you a free shoulder pain fix demo so you can learn our NTS method and get pain free.